because I was there right at the beginning of the process of making this thing that's called QI. For me, it's always just been a way of living. It's a way of thinking, way of approaching the world. It started, like the best things in a conversation between two friends in a pub. John Lloyd, who lived in the same village I do in Oxfordshire, which is where we are now, for about a year had been saying to me that he had come up with, he thought, the idea, the big idea that would change everything. Which, of course, I was working in publishing at the time. I was always kind of curious. And John had this extraordinary track record. He'd got, I think, 2 Lifetime Achievement BAFTAs before he was 40. Blackadder, Spitting Image, not the 9 o'clock news. He pitched the idea of QI to me, quite interesting to me, as a sort of an attempt to rewrite Encyclopaedia Britannica.
To rewrite the way of learning.
Yeah, well, basically, to rewrite the way of learning, and the idea was interestingness. He said, how many vaginas does a kangaroo have? So I said, I don't know, I hadn't really thought about it. He said, well, they got 3. I said, what? He said, right, you're interested, right? You would have to be a very, very strange person not to be interested in why.
That is very interesting.
Reading through the entry on basketball, Encyclopaedia Britannica, you go through pages, about 20 pages of court dimensions and rules, and it's like, this sort of whole thing is like wrapped up in this dull stuff, and then right in the middle of it is the story of how basketball was invented by, it was a competition, Canadian guy called James Naismith in the 1860s, scrumping up paper, drawing courts, trying to figure out a new sport for schools in America. It was a competition, and anyway, eureka moment, supposedly, throws piece of paper into basket, then suddenly thinks, baskets. So he runs into his principal. He said, I've got it, peach basket on the wall, ball into, but brilliant. Okay, within a few years, it was the most popular sport in America. Every school was playing it. But the genius thing, buried in the middle of this dull Encyclopaedia Britannica article, is the fact that for the first 21 years, nobody had thought to cut a hole in the bottom of the basket. So every time anybody scored a basket, they had to get a stepladder to get the ball out of it. That kind of, that's the other thing he told me, which is great too, is he said, how would you, you were attacked by a crocodile, how would you stop it biting you? So, you come up with all the usual. All you need is a rubber band. It's completely brilliant. Crocodiles are incredibly powerful, the most powerful bite of any animal. Some, thousands of pounds per square inch of pressure. Very powerful muscles doing that. Very, very weak muscles to do this.
Oh my goodness.
So a simple rubber band around a crocodile would be more than the crocodile could break.
Well, when we go down to the river, we might try that.